I'd like to introduce County Executive Chuck Banks.
Good morning, everyone. Thank you all for coming. What a great facility, what a great school, what great students, fantastic food. Let's give them a round of applause. Wasn't it fantastic? I want to thank you all who are tuning in on KJF Radio, the talk of Jefferson County, and JCTV, your Jefferson College station. And we're being blogged live at jeffersoncountylibrary.org. You bet, that's great. Today's program is brought to you by the Jefferson County Growth and Development Association. And I want to extend a special thank you to those businesses and organizations that sponsored this event. Without their help, this could not be done. Chapel Hill Mortuaries, who went up and beyond, Dobbs Auto and Tire Service, the Jefferson County Labor Club, the Plumbers and Pipe Fitters, Haskins Storage, and a special thank you to Brian Haskins for being such a go-getter and recruiting so many sponsors. Thank you, Brian. You did an excellent job. You bet. The Northwest Chamber of Commerce, Hale Automotive, Ameren UE, Express Mart, High Ridge Fire Department, Jerry Rogers Insurance, Cosney Wagner, High Ridge Rotary, the Home Builders of St. Louis and Eastern Missouri, Northwest Chamber of Commerce, Sheet Metal Workers, THF Realty, Govro Land Services, and Jefferson Regional Medical Center. Let's give them a big thank you for helping today. I hope you're all comfortable, but this is your government, and you need to know who those faces are. And I'm happy that we're here today at Northwest High School. The students and the staff have done a wonderful job. I would like to recognize some of the special people that are here today. I want to thank Dr. Paul Ziegler for the introduction and for the great job that his students have done. And of course, the school board who you've all been introduced to. We thank you so much for allowing us to have this event here. I want to introduce my lovely wife, Mary Ann, and my son, CJ, are sitting right here. Okay? And these are the folks that are your government. We'll start at the top at the federal level. Representing Congressman Carnahan is T.C. Powers. T.C., thank you for coming. Senator Ryan McKenna from the 22nd District, and his unemployed father, Bill McKenna, is here as well. State Representative Sam Como from the 90th District. State Representative Jeff Rohrder from the 102. State Representative Michael Frame from the 105. State Representative Belinda Harris from the 110. I know that Mayor Frank Rowland from the city of Hillsborough is here. Frank, thanks for coming. We have alderman from the city of Festus, Mr. Sam Richards. An alderman from the city of Herculaneum, Mr. Terry. Sorry, Terry. Terry Thomas, my good friend, who I served with for many years. Sorry, Terry, it's a senior moment. Those things happen. County Executive, Ed Kemp. The Recorder of Deeds of Jefferson County does a great job. We couldn't survive without Ms. Marlene Castle. County Treasurer Mark Abel. County Auditor Dorothy Stafford. County Assessor Randy Holman. County Collector Beth Mann. And your Public Administrator, Mr. Bruce King. I also want to recognize the CEO of Jefferson Health Systems, Mr. Lloyd Ford. Lloyd, I saw you were here. Where are you at? Thank you for coming. The President of Jefferson College, Mr. Ray Comiskey. Director of ComTree, Dr. Stephen Hess. Thank you all so much for coming. Now I'd like to introduce the members of my staff that are here today. My Director of Administration, Mr. Steve Stoll. County Councilor, Mr. Dennis Kem. Municipal Judge, Mr. Tim Miller. Did I mention our County Prosecutor, Forrest Wegge? Apologize, Forrest. Judge, I'm sorry, I'm backing up here just a little bit because I see that I missed some folks that are elected. Judge Roy Cardona is here, I believe. Troy Cardona. Judge Stephen Bouchard. Had to go back. I know Judge Shannon Lee was here, as well as Judge Nathan Stewart. They had to go back for court this morning. We're happy that they were here. Back to my staff, and I apologize for getting out of turn here. I know that I introduced Judge Tim Miller. The Director of Public Works, Bill Corr, is out taking care of the snow, and what a job he's done. You would think that it didn't even snow today. That's the kind of service you get from Jefferson County. My Emergency Management Director, Susan Green, is also waiting for the storm to hit. Parks and Recreations Director, Mr. Mike Ginger. Municipal Prosecutor, Dan James. My administrative assistant and the lady who really runs the county, Ms. Donna Beckham. The Director of County Services, Martin Toma, and I wish that his assistant, Christy Bales, could have been here. Martin, thank you so much, Martin. And of course, we couldn't do this without Sarah Davis, our Executive Director. Thank you, Sarah. All right. I want to begin today talking a little bit about the Jefferson County Growth and Development Association, because they're the ones that bring this to you, and they are so important to Jefferson County. Jefferson County Growth and Development Association is the voice for business. The Board of Directors is made up of business members and presidents of every chambers of commerce in Jefferson County. Its goal is to promote, maintain, and recruit business in Jefferson County. The economic dollars that are available from the state and federal government are limited at best. Realizing that other regions in the state have fared better than Jefferson County over the past few legislative sessions, we came to the conclusion that Jefferson region simply needs to do more to get those dollars that are so rare. We came to the conclusion that successful regions had simple, clear-cut goals with business leaders pushing the same agenda. Counties must have clearly identifiable needs that their legislators can support. Working with State Representative Sam Como, the JCGDA established an Economic Advisory Committee to bring together the business interests in Jefferson County and formulate an agenda that could be taken to East-West Gateway, Jefferson City, and Washington, D.C. The Working Committee of State Representative Sam Como, Jefferson College President Dr. Ray Comiskey, Jefferson College Dean of Career and Technical Education Elizabeth Check, Jefferson County Community Partnership Executive Director Tracy Smith, David Herman from the Missouri Career Center, Arnold Chamber President Tom Dixon, and SOTO Chamber Executive Julie Craig, and board members Dan Govro, Rick Turley, and myself put together an initial report and a call to action plan called Creating a Vision, One Plan, One Voice. We reached out to businesses and citizens across Jefferson County through our local chambers and an aggressive media and email campaign, seeking identification of the needs of Jefferson County. The response was good, and all the comments were tabulated. And the top 5 needs were identified. 1, better communication within our county with one source as the voice. Improved infrastructure, including broadband, roads, rails, and ports. 3, business development, retention and growth of existing business, as well as the need to develop and recruit new business in Jefferson County. And 4, workforce development through improved educational options. This is our short-term legislative agenda. Our long-term agenda is to develop an economic strategic plan through focus groups and outreach that will begin in Arnold on February 11th in room 301 at Jefferson College at 6 p.m. We encourage all businesses and citizens to attend this one or the upcoming forums that will be announced. Go to jcgda.org for the times and places. This is just one example of what Jefferson County Growth and Development Association does for business. The JCGDA offers many benefits to its members and does many things for the good of all businesses in Jefferson County, whether you are members or not. The Shop Jefferson County campaign, the legislative forum, the reception, the debates, the Jeffersonian Awards, the speaker series are all programs that the Jefferson County Growth and Development puts on for business in Jefferson County. The JCGDA is a member-driven organization that needs your involvement to succeed. Please, if you are not a member of the JCGDA, we desperately need you to become a part of the movement to make Jefferson County businesses, your businesses, succeed. And I urge you to join today, and I am honored to serve as its president today as well. Now let's talk about the county. I am proud to say that the state of Jefferson County is secure, balanced, and solid. Our bond rating is A, our obligations have been met, and our budget is balanced, and the services offered to our citizens have not been reduced. Though revenues have been reduced, the county has proposed no new taxes. Our anticipated revenues reflect a slight increase over last year, but only because of federal grants and energy efficiency. Now, I'm not claiming that there was no pain. In order to balance the budget, everyone had to contribute. Our employees received no salary increases for the third straight year. In fact, everyone, including the elected officials, was required to pay a higher deductible on their health care or pay $50 more per month. The sheriff continues to reduce staff and is running the old dog-eared cars. There is so much more that we would like to do, but we must operate within our means. We have many, many achievements over the past year, and thanks to our staff, we have done, I believe, an extraordinary job. Jefferson County is a county in transition from traditional commission form of government to its own unique form of governance. The charter crafted by the Charter Commission in 2008 was designed to meet our needs. It has components never before implemented. The charter laid out specific time requirements for completion during the transition period. We were responsible for implementing and making procedures and rules for the operation of the County Council, for establishing the new and expanded Code Commission, the first of its kind Public Safety Commission, and the merit system. All had to be completed before the new 7-member council was seated January 1, 2011. We had what seemed like a daunting task ahead of us, shrinking revenues and an enormous obligation to fill. Well, they say there's no such thing as luck. Luck is when ability and opportunity meet. We had an enormous opportunity to build a new government and incredibly able staff who rose to the occasion and did a phenomenal job. I am in awe of our people. The first opportunity came early in the year as our Director of Administration, as we were able to recruit Steve Stoll as our Director of Administration. The challenge was just what Steve was looking for, and he gave it his all. Developing our 5-year capital plan, authoring the new merit system, and overseeing the federal energy grant projects. With Steve's help, we were able to capture $1.9 million in federal stimulus money. Combine that with $1.9 million in guaranteed energy savings contracts, and it will allow us to make $3.8 million in improvements to our facilities. It will put Jefferson County workers to work and save energy, and the increased cost to our taxpayers is zero. Steve's wisdom and his vast experience has been and continues to be invaluable to the county. Martin Thoma, the Director of County Services, Christy Bales, his assistant, and their staff seem to flourish in this adverse environment. With reduced staff, they rebuilt the Code Commission, revised the Unified Development Order, proposed changes to the code, executed warrants and drafts on code violations, reviewed plans, and made recommendations to the Planning Commission. They attended all of their multiple board meetings and all of our board meetings as well. They and their staff are to be commended. Martin's entire department truly cares about the environment and the impact that development has on the land. Working with the Missouri Department of Natural Resources, East-West Gateway, the Missouri Department of Conservation, and most importantly, the citizens of Jefferson County, the department has developed watershed management plans. In 2008, they completed the Blues Creek Watershed Plan, and in 2009, they completed the LeBar Creek Watershed Plan. The LeBar Creek is unique, and the plan is so comprehensive that Jefferson County, the Friends of the LeBar Creek, and the Department of Conservation were awarded an Olga Award from East-West Gateway for excellence in public policy. The planning process helped to secure the donation of 850 acres to the Missouri State Park System and the purchase of many acres by the Department of Conservation. It also created a greater understanding among our citizens about their local government and what it can do for them. We have the goal of developing a plan for every watershed in Jefferson County. We are currently working on the Sandy Creek watershed. Creating understanding of how government works and what it can do for you is essential to success in planning. The plans and management tools are for the benefit of the citizens. Sometimes the plan outweighs the benefit. When I first took office, the county had embarked on a plan to seek scenic byway designation of the Highway 21 and Highway M corridors. These beautiful roads pass through the most scenic parts of central Jefferson County. Preserving the beauty and character was a noble idea. Concerned citizens volunteered for the plan committee. They identified the historic and natural assets along the proposed byway. They had a goal of preventing monopole advertising signs from obscuring the natural beauty. The county responded by imposing a moratorium on the monopole signs while the committee did its work. Once the plan was drafted, a series of hearings were held. The hearings were attended by citizens who had experienced national and historic byway designations in other parts of the country. The land use restrictions in these other states that were placed upon the landowners were unreasonable. The news of the infringement on the property rights in other states raised the ire and suspicion of the property owners along the Jefferson County byway, and rightly so. Responding to the outcry of the citizens and questioning the success of the byway, our planning staff proposed that the county simply add the monopole restriction to the Unified Development Order, which the council considered and finally passed in 2009. With the benefit gone from the scenic byway designation and the justifiable concern of the landowners, I am proposing today that the county council drop any further action to request scenic byway designation for Highway 21 and the Highway M corridors. I thank the committee for their work, and I assure the property owners along the corridor that they are as free to use their land as every other property owner in Jefferson County. This began with the best of intentions, but we all know where the road paved with good intentions is headed. The Department of County Services and Code Enforcement has enormous responsibility, from land use to animal control. It includes the Code Commission, the Board of Building Appeals, the Planning and Zoning Commission, and the Board of Adjustments. They are the citizen boards that hear and recommend to the County Council. The Code Commission is new and expanded from the old Building Commission. The board has changed mostly formerly existing authority. These 7 volunteers work without pay and have done an outstanding job for setting a policy for protecting our citizens from unsafe buildings and unscrupulous contractors. Rick Lane, Wayne Stanley, Don Bucksbaum, Tom Leonard, Brenda Rush, Jerry Capps, and Marty McLennans need to be recognized. If we had to pay them what they are worth, we couldn't balance the budget. Animal control does not mean training your dog to retrieve. It means protecting the public from dangerous and diseased animals. Responsible pet ownership doesn't mean you're the one that has to clean the carpet. It means full responsibility for every aspect of a domestic animal's life: spaying, neutering, inoculation, containment, nutrition, and safety. For some reason, people forget that, or they never got that. Our animal control staff responds to strays, bites, and abandonment. These animals are brought into our facility for the protection of the public. They are treated humanely, housed and cared for as long as we can. Our director, J.T. Taylor, cares a great deal about these animals, and he is passionate about irresponsible pet owners. He and the municipal judge, Dan James, have trained our animal control officers to collect evidence and write tickets and testify to bring irresponsible pet owners into our municipal court. They are now fined for failing to take care of their animals. But the sad fact is, we still have too many animals coming into our facility. A better solution needs to be found. Jane Geiler, a local attorney and fellow Rotarian, approached me at a club meeting and told me of her experience as a prosecutor of child abuse. Back in the 80s, Jane attended a summit for stakeholders in the field of child abuse and protection. From that summit rose the concept of children's advocacy centers. She thought perhaps the summit idea could work in Jefferson County to address the issue of domestic animal ownership. I thought it was a great idea and handed her the ball, and she ran with it. She brought together a core group of citizens who call themselves the Animal Forum. They are on target to hold the first Jefferson County Animal Summit on March 20th at Jefferson Regional Medical Center. This is an all-day, invitation-only working event to identify the issues and contemplate the solutions. If you are serious about being a part of the solution, contact me, and I will see that you get an invitation. And I'm sure that part of the solution will obviously be a better facility. Kathy Brake, the director of Adopt, is dedicated to building a new facility. She is a woman on a mission, and I am certain that she will succeed. And I want her to succeed. A new, publicly owned, properly designed building is in our capital plan. The cost is estimated to be $1.6 million. And any public building owned and operated by Jefferson County must be built with local labor, paid prevailing wages, and fairly bid. We need the facility and we need the jobs to build it. And I will not support giving away any public-owned land with the sole purpose of avoiding paying for fair wages and skirting the law. With the permission of the voters, we could propose a small, no-tax increase bond issue. We must work together. Adopt could be the driver of the issue, and the Jefferson County Animal Summit the conduit for consensus. Two people, Director Susan Green and Gina Akins, are the entire paid staff of our Department of Emergency Management. Without increase in pay, they took on increased responsibility while continuing to perform their usual duties, operating the EOC, working with the unbelievable bureaucracy that is SEMA and FEMA, training and preparing for disaster. Susan and Gina facilitated the establishment of the new 12-member Public Safety Commission. It is comprised of 12 professionals from every school of emergency response. The new Public Safety Commission wrote and delivered complete and on time the Jefferson County Emergency Management Plan. Thanks to the professionals on the Public Safety Commission, the plan is practical, workable, and was completed with zero cost to the citizens of Jefferson County. Jefferson County is blessed to have so many well-trained, talented, and dedicated public servants. With the help of many volunteers of many volunteers of the Hazardous Material Response Team and the LEPC, Susan and Gina identified, secured through grant funding, and remodeled a vacant building in Herculaneum and turned it into a beautiful, functional training center and home base. The team is all volunteer and trained and ready to respond to any spill or eruption of dangerous materials anywhere in the county. When a spill occurs and they clean it up, the spiller is responsible for the cost. All of those charges go back into the general revenue of the county and not to the volunteers. We have kept those funds for training and resources for the team, and I am committed to keeping them in future budgets and not diverting them to other programs. The cost to Jefferson County taxpayers for this facility and for their operations is zero. Susan Green is our representative on STARS, the St. Louis Area Regional Response System, and is highly regarded throughout the state and the nation as an expert in the area of emergency management. We are truly blessed to have Susan and Gina on our team. Our County Councilor, Dennis Kem, Municipal Prosecutor Dan James, and Municipal Judge Timothy Miller have reinvented our municipal court. Together they worked with our code officials, our county animal control staff, building inspectors, and county council to bring enforcement of our codes into our municipal court, keeping the fines and penalties at the county level and not at the state level. This has added a large amount to the caseload of the already overworked and understaffed court clerks. Again, our staff has risen to the occasion, and without increase in pay, Court Clerk Cheryl Abel and her staff have done an outstanding job, dealing with thousands of cases a month and never losing a single case or record or a single dollar. We thank them for their efforts. County Councilor Dennis Kem has directed all of the legal work, writing ordinances, advising the executives, writing the rules and developing procedures, while still maintaining full responsibility for defending and acting on lawsuits and claims for the county. It's incredible the amount of work that our folks have done this year. Our Director of Public Works, Bill Core, and his staff run a tight ship. They plan ahead and program every dollar. When the 2009 stimulus funds for transportation projects became available, Bill moved quickly to submit our projects. And thanks to their keeping projects ahead of schedule and bringing them in under budget, we are in line for a second round of funding that could result in the completion of the third phase of Lions Den Road. And Bill has phase 4 ready as well. And if there's a second round of stimulus funding, I propose that Lions Den be our highest priority, completing the connection to Old Highway 21 to the outer road at Seckman Road at I-55. This year, construction will begin on 8 bridges and 7 road projects in Jefferson County. There are 17 projects that will be in the design and right-of-way acquisition stage for 2010. Construction on these projects will begin in 2010, but will be carried over into the budget of future years. Under the direction of Parks and Recreations Director Mike Ginger and Craig Lukemeyer, his assistant, and their staff, they operate 11 facilities and host a number of programs. Though they operate on less than a 3-cent levy and suffered multiple flood damages to the parks, they continue to expand the program and improve the facilities. In 2009, they completed their master plan of park rules and lit the fields at the Northwest Sports Complex. Though all of their developed facilities are on the west side of the county, the Parks and Recreation Department puts on program in every part of the county, using schools and other facilities to help Jefferson Countyans create and enjoy the enjoy the outdoors. The 2 properties we own on the east side of the county are waiting for funding. Stonebridge Park and the Kimmswood property are relatively new acquisitions that are unique and will someday be a place for observation, use, and recreation. We are simply waiting for enough funds to make the improvements. At the end of '09, we established park rules and guidelines for violations of the parks to be brought into our municipal court for prosecution of violations. Sam Rawls, the Executive Director of EDC, will quickly tell you that his staff and the Board of Directors deserves all the credit for the incredible accomplishments of our county certified development company. The EDC once again achieved its ratios within the HUD entitlement program. This is very important because it gives the EDC the ability to keep its funding for future years and possibly increase for future years. The First-Time Homebuyers Program assisted 30 families in 2009 to obtain a home. This is a direct infusion of nearly $4 million into the Jefferson County economy. The EDC approved 25 homes for septic tank replacement program and 50 homes for the homeowner rehabilitation program. This is an infusion of $1.2 million into the county economy. The SBA 504 loan program had 3 loans and for $3.1 million approved in 2009, and we are currently working on 6 more. We have assisted many businesses in creating or retaining over 100 jobs in Jefferson County. We received $1 million for funding of the Neighborhoods Stabilization Program through the Missouri Department of Economic Development. These funds will be going to DeSoto and Herculaneum to purchase and rehab foreclosed homes and for low and moderate income residents of Jefferson County. I believe the most important project EDC has been able to put together this year is the multimodal port study for Jefferson County Port District. And I'm going to speak to that in just a minute. Our number one industry for employment is home building. And with the new industry in the tank, our unemployment numbers are now near 11%. We need to do what we can to stimulate home building, new home building. In 2008, we implemented a one-stop shop for permitting to streamline the process. And we work closely with the Home Builders Association as we develop any rules, but we need a benefit for the home buyer. I have asked staff to look at the possibility of either deferring or waiving fees to reduce the upfront costs of buying a home. Now, we are limited in authority, and our record of accounting system does not allow for a permit to be issued without the accompanying payment. And our budget simply could not withstand a $250,000 reduction in revenue. But I am committed to finding some way to help second and third home buyers to build a new home in Jefferson County. Thank you. There is no better place to build your dream home than Jefferson County. Last week, Governor Nixon announced a plan to pick up the first year's real estate tax for a new home buyer. That is a fantastic plan and will have positive impact on Jefferson County. One of Jefferson County's finest assets continues to be Jefferson College, where residents of all ages come to improve the quality of life through a variety of high-quality educational programs and services. Last fall, over 5,800 students enrolled at Jefferson College, setting a new all-time attendance record at the institution, which included a 29% increase in online instruction, a 26% increase at Arnold, and a 14% growth at Hillsborough, and 5% growth at High Ridge. Those are incredible numbers. In 2009, the college received another 10-year maximum accreditation recommendation from the Higher Learning Commission, the 5th consecutive period that Jefferson College received the highest possible ratings. The college's new president, Dr. Ray Comiskey, has also taken an active role in our community, trying to bring higher education and technology closer to everyone. As the economic uncertainty of the past year took its toll on us, Jefferson College extended into our community to provide job training and workforce development to those who needed it most. Whether it was laid-off Chrysler worker who needed to learn new job skills, or a single mother who desperately needed to train for a stable career so that she could feed her children, Jefferson College was there. The college's highly regarded status is a result of its focus on helping students to achieve their individual goals, along with a desire to expand accessibility within the region so that a high-quality, affordable college education is available to all. Progress will continue there in 2010 as the college recently announced to renovate the former Jefferson College North facility in Imperial in order to provide additional public service, health-related training opportunities. Additionally, the existing Arnold facility near Astor Way and Highway 141 will be expanded to accommodate additional classrooms and science labs. Given its tremendous enrollment growth, reputation for excellence, it's easy to see why Jefferson College is continually the #1 choice for higher education and training by Jefferson County residents. It's the reason why many proudly refer to the college as the crown jewel of Jefferson County. Once again, I want to mention that the fact that we are the home of the largest arts and science fair in the nation. Last year, over 3,100 area students entered projects in the Mastodon Arts and Science Fair. 100% of our school districts participated, and over 35,000 in scholarships, awards, and prizes were given out at no cost to the students, teachers, or districts. This is a great benefit for our students that can only continue with the support of the community. Please go to mastodonfair.org and help a young Jefferson County scientist succeed. ComTree is the mental health agency of Jefferson County. Dr. Stephen Huss, his staff, and volunteer board of directors have built the greatest mental health agency in the country. Last year, they put together an aggressive expansion of services in Jefferson County. The Betty Seeley Center in High Ridge for Family Mental Health Care opened this year, and it already serves 500 families. ComTree has introduced Help for the Home Front, post-traumatic stress syndrome care for returning vets, and helps train other agencies across Missouri. The Sheriff's Department and ComTree have continued their cooperative effort to effectively deal with domestic violence in Jefferson County. The drug courts of Jefferson County using ComTree continue to be among the most effective in the state and are recognized as such across the state. And our county has just recently opened its new juvenile detention facility and treatment facility, and through its innovative relationship with ComTree, we have now a safe and effective, low-cost way to care for our children. It's no secret that our local hospital, Jefferson Regional Medical Center, has been the county's largest employer for some time, and that they have been receiving national recognition for quality heart care, pulmonary and critical care, and more. Most recently, the Jefferson Regional Health Center was recognized nationally as a Data Advantage Top 100 hospital for value. They also have been recognized by Health Grades for the top 5% in the nation for patient safety. The bottom line is that you're safer at Jefferson Regional than if you were at 95% of the other hospitals in the country. They have reached out to the communities to our south with management of the Iron County Hospital and will soon add a surgical hospital and urgent care facility in the Twin City area. Additional expansion projects on campus and throughout the county are being explored in 2010 and 2011. Our hospital in Jefferson County is not only growing to meet our needs, but to exceed our expectations. This is the state of the county today. Now let's look to the future. But first, we must look back. Back in 2000, Jefferson County was home to the largest polluter in the state of Missouri. The Doe Run Company, formerly the St. Joe Minerals Corporation, formerly the St. Joe Lead Company, operated the largest lead smelter in North America. For over 200 years, the lead industry provided employment to thousands of eastern Missourians. Lead is our state mineral. Galena is our state mineral. And it is what brought the first industry to Jefferson County. 200 years of lead production left Herculaneum contaminated with lead residue, and the operation was putting large amounts of lead in the air. EPA, DNR, the Agency on Toxic Substance and Registry, and the Missouri Department of Health and Senior Services, and the Doe Run Company entered into an agreement to clean up the operation. The company would invest millions into the pollution control devices and would replace contaminated soils in residential yards that were willing to participate. The citizens of Herculaneum got involved and organized. The citizens were not satisfied with the agreement. They demanded a closer examination, and Governor Holden and Congressman Gephardt agreed. Testing showed elevated blood levels in school-aged children living close to the smelter. The children needed to be moved from the area, and the company agreed. The company purchased every house within a quarter mile of the smelter, and it was a quarter mile of smelter that was interested and could come to terms with the price. The company invested millions to meet their obligation to the community. Not everyone was willing, and no one was forced. But today, most of the buyout area is vacant. Recently, the EPA retested the yards in Herculaneum. The yards of the homes that refuse to be remediated are still contaminated. And the yards of the properties that are company-owned that were not cleaned, of course, are still showing high levels. There were a few yards that were once cleaned that are now showing lead again. Most are along the haul route. The company has made a commitment to the community that by the end of the year, all the yards that they have access to will be cleaned. The trucks that carry the lead concentrate must drive through town and carry with them the potential for lead spillage. A new route was proposed, and with the help of Senator Bond and Congressman Carnahan, federal funds were earmarked for a new bridge out of the south end of town, away from the residential area. The new route brings with it new opportunity and a short link to Interstate 55. The company continued to invest in pollution controls, but as lead air standard became smaller and smaller, it became more difficult to meet those standards. Soon, a new standard for sulfur dioxide will go into effect, and the current smelter will have a very difficult time meeting that standard. The Doe Run Company has been working on a new process, a green, non-polluting process for turning lead sulfide into lead oxide. That may mean no more pollution in Herculaneum, and that also may mean no more production in Herky. The Doe Run Company needed to consider its options for the Herculaneum site. Over the years, from time to time, the Jefferson County Port Authority, a county-authorized EDC-managed agency, proposed port development at the Herculaneum site. Now, with the prospect of a new use, Doe Run commissioned a consultant to do a port study in Herculaneum. Hearing this, I asked the company if they would allow the Port Authority to expand the study to include most of southern Jefferson County. The company agreed, and the Port Authority approached the communities of Peevely, Herculaneum, Crystal City, and Festus, who all agreed to cooperate. So along with the Port Authority, the EDC, Jefferson County, the cities, we all agreed to contribute to the cost. The study looked at from Peevely to south of Festus and was unveiled last week at a joint meeting of all the boards and to the public. What it says is this: it is quite feasible to build a port with multiple sites in Jefferson County. If successful and completed over the next 30 years, the site could have billions of dollars of economic impact on the region. It has all the components for success, with deep channel, close connection to the interstate highway, multiple rail options, and thousands of acres of available industrial land. And at a time when fossil fuels costs are rising, industrial jobs are leaving the nation, and there is a growing concern for the environment, the Jefferson County community is proposing converting the largest polluter into the largest green industrial complex in the Midwest. Moving freight off the road and rail and onto the water is the cheapest and most environmentally friendly way to move goods. Bringing goods to the center of the nation to distribute to the U.S. market via the most efficient means is what the country needs. And the Herculaneum site is just half of the equation. The Crystal City site is suited for a slackwater harbor and a loop rail. Each of these sites represents almost $300 million in construction work for thousands of Jefferson County workers. For each $1 million invested in the port returns $8 million and 11 permanent, good-paying jobs. There is a potential for 6,000 jobs. This port plan will have national significance. And there's more. In Crystal City, the Wings Project is moving, but it's moving slowly. The Wings Project has different national significance. That project has three components: the mine in Washington County, a pipeline to Crystal City, and an iron ore conversion plant to Crystal City. It will also have its own little port. What has national significance is what is in the mine. The ore is the highest grade in the country, and it contains rare elements that are only found there. By there, I mean only there and in China. This $350 million project will also employ thousands of Jefferson County workers to build it and hundreds to operate it. Good-paying jobs for our children. The plant will be a LEED certified clean, environmentally friendly plant. The pipeline is used to move the ore from the mine to the plant, and that means no trucks to deliver the ore. no diesel emissions, no noise coming in. The product will move out via barge and truck and rail. This project is not part of the port property and will not interfere, but will complement the port. The iron ore and rare earth elements that it holds are found nowhere else in the country and will play a large part in our future. The two largest cement producers in North America, single producers, are in the southern townships, will produce clean cement for 100 years. The cheap, clean raw materials and the most efficient transportation, a well-educated workforce, and Midwestern work ethic give our projects the advantage. In the toughest times in 50 years, when America is losing manufacturing jobs, and there is a great concern for our environment, and the cost of fuel is rising, America is looking for the solution. The cry goes out, where are the new manufacturing jobs? Where are the green jobs? How can we reduce our consumption of petroleum? The answer is in our own backyard. The most efficient way to move goods is on the river. The river is green. The lead process will be green. Moving ore through a pipeline is green. Steel, lead, cement, sand, aggregate, all from Jefferson County. These are the base components for manufacturing. The answer is here. The answer is here in the greatest county, in the greatest country the world has ever known. I am so proud of Jefferson County, its people, its government, and its character. The state of Jefferson County is solid. Its future is bright. And I am so excited to be a part of it. God bless America, and God bless Jefferson County. Thank you very much. And now I'd like to introduce Mr. Brian May. Thank you.